Hello, everybody. Good day, everyone. This is Coach Emmanuel Dogba coming your way once again. This is my YouTube channel. I try the best I can to give you value, great value, particularly in the area of effective communications, with very particular focus to two key areas, which is building your self-confidence and public speaking. Today I'll be talking to us today in the next 3 videos, basically. I'll be sharing with you on how you can overcome the fear of public speaking. It will interest you to know that the greatest fear in the world is the fear of public speaking, and this is quite amazing. It's even greater than the fear of death itself. People would rather die, some people would rather die than stand in the public and speak, stand before an audience and speak. And this is because a lot of us have gone through certain phobia, fear of so many other things, that has caused us to get to that point where we wonder why we're so afraid to speak in public. Again, it will interest you to note that scientifically it has been proven that every human being was born with just 2 fears. And so the question will be, where did we get the other fears from? Now, the 2 fears we're born with is the fear of loud sounds and the fear of falling. So that's why when a child is with you and suddenly there is a thunder strike, or there is a loud noise from the banging of a door or something of the sort, the child shrills and cries out, because that is a natural fear that every human being was born with. Again, children are so scared of falling, and that's why when they're walking, they're very cautious. And that has made a lot of children to walk late because they are afraid to fall. These 2 fears are natural. We're born with it. We were born with it. It came with us from our mother's wombs. But the question is, where comes the fear of speaking in public? From where comes the fear of heights, the fear of insects, the fear of whatever you may want to call it? Whatever fear you have, the question is, we learned those fears. And the good news is, whatever you learn, you can unlearn. Whatever you learn, you can unlearn. And so in this series, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 important ways you can deal with this fear of public speaking. Okay, I'm going to be sharing with you tips that would help you. And there are 3 important things that I have learned over the years from studies, from my training and all of that, that really works a great deal. I'll list out the 3 and I'll focus on one in this video, and in subsequent videos, I'll talk about the other 2. Now, the first thing basically that helps you to overcome fear is what we call expectancy. Okay, that's expectancy. What you expect is very powerful. Your expectancy is critical for your ability to deal with this fear of speaking. Now, there are people who, though they are afraid to speak in public, they keep telling themselves that whenever I have the opportunity to speak, I expect great response from my audience. They've not dealt with the fear itself, but they have an expectation. There are yet other people who believe that if I go out there to speak, I don't expect people to cheer me on. I don't expect people to take what I'm saying as serious. They're going to expect me to fail. Now, listen carefully to those words. What you expect determines your outcome. So we're going to be dwelling on expectancy in this video. The second other thing which I'll deal with in the second video and the subsequent one is, the next one is exposure. Now, exposure is very important because what you see is critical. So I don't want to delve into that now. I just said I'll mention it to you. And then the third one is experience. So we're going to be looking at exposure and experience in subsequent videos. But for this video, I want us to look at expectancy. So it's important that you define what you expect, because what you expect will define your outcome. And this is very critical. In public speaking, I have always had this in my mind, and it still works for me every day. Whenever I have the opportunity to go speak to people, or I have the opportunity to go share knowledge of whatever it is I do, anchoring an event or what have you, I always expect the best. In fact, when I leave my home, I tell my wife, I'm going out to do this event and I'm going to kill it. And when I come back, the first thing she asks me, how did it go? And I tell her, as expected. And she's like, of course, I trust your ability. I know you're going to deliver. You always do. Now, the truth is, it's not as if I am the best in the world, so to say, but hey, my expectancy works a whole lot for me, because I expect great response from my audience. I expect a good turnout on the event. I expect my capacity to improve in delivery. I expect everything good. And people would say, why don't you prepare for the worst? Expect the best, but prepare for the worst. But you know, while you are preparing for whatever it is you're preparing, the rule of this game is simple. If you expect the best and you put in the work you need to put in, you expect the best. Your expectation many times comes true. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Let's take an instance. If you've ever gone out there to speak and you mess things up, ask yourself quietly and sincerely, what was your expectation? What did you expect? What did you desire? What was it you were thinking in your subconscious and conscious mind that would be the outcome of that event? What came through to your mind? What was that focus that you had to say, okay, I'm going out to deliver this event. I'm going to speak. I expect, well, I'm not well prepared, so I don't know how it will go. When you don't know how it will go, of course, you don't have control anymore because your expectation is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So one great rule that helps me to deliver in all of my event, even when I'm doing a video like this, I just sit back and I tell myself, this video is going to come out great. And my expectation is a self-fulfilling prophecy because when I set that expectation, it always 99.9% of the time comes true. So when you want to deal with the subject matter of fear of speaking, the first thing you need to do is to deal with your expectancy. Deal with it, deal with it, deal with it. Before we go into talking about all the other things like how to overcome stage fear, glossophobia, how to do this, how preparation and practice and all that, your expectancy is key. Very critical. If you don't deal with your expectancy, you are most of the time going to find yourself struggling. So I, for one, when coaching my clients, I tell them, what do you expect? You know, they tell me, oh, you know what, when I get out there, I'm scared. I really don't know how to say the things I want to say. I go blank. And I said, hey, that's okay. It's normal. It's natural. You have a fear of speaking. We understand that. I had it. I worked on it. But hey, let's define your expectancy first of all. What do you forget? Just assume, pretend that you're a great speaker. You want to go out there to deliver. What do you expect? And when I work on the psychology of the expectancy first and deal with it successfully, I then say to them, so let's look at all the nitty-gritty of public speaking. Let's talk about the details. Let's talk about your dressing. Let's talk about your poise. Let's talk about your body language. Let's talk about how you can deal with stage fear. Let's look at adrenaline. Let's look at what causes stage fear and all of that. But you know what? First of all, I have worked on their expectancy. I have made them understand that, look, if you expect the best, you get the best. And so when we start working on all of these other things, it becomes an easy sail. Okay? It's just like a boat that is moving in the direction of the wind flow, and the wind just helps it with the rudder and takes it in that direction successfully. So the sailor doesn't need to do a lot of work to turn the wind, to turn the rudder this way or that way. No, it just goes in that direction that the wind is taking, because that's the direction that the sailor wants the boat to go, and the wind is just helping out in that particular direction. So that's what it is when you're able to deal with your expectation. And I'm very careful to make people to dissuade the minds of people to say, oh, you know what, I don't know how these people take me. I don't know what they think about me. I don't know how they're going to perceive me. I tell them one great thing. Every audience that sits down waits for you as the speaker to come up stage has the expectation that you will deliver. They believe that you know why you're there. They believe that you have what it takes. They're hoping and praying that you will deliver because they don't want to waste their time. Even when children come on stage to present, people who are seated, parents and others, they're hopeful for the child. They are believing for the child. They are praying that, oh, I just pray he's not going to have stage fright, he's going to deliver. So you see, the truth is your audience has great expectation for you, first of all. So why are you the one now saying you don't know what's going to happen? Come on, nothing's going to happen. It's what you expect that will happen. You create your reality. That's the first rule of this game, man. Expectation. What is it that you expect? You might wonder, I've used that word so many times. Yeah, because that's the key. That's the key. You've got to put it in the lock and turn the lock, is going to open. That's very critical. Right? So it's very essential that as much as possible, you first of all deal with your expectancy. What do you look forward to? What are you hoping for? What are you looking up to? This is critical. And the moment you can do this, you're on the journey, the great journey of being a great public speaker. I hope this information really is added value to you. I hope it helps. And I believe that when we go into the next one and the third one, which is exposure and experience, you will be happier that you watched this video. So stay tuned and look out for my next video next week, which is going to be dealing with the next point, which of course is exposure. I'll see you around. And oh, beautiful, I almost forgot that. The month of May is actually my birth month, and I'm doing something real good, something fantastic. I'm giving an offer that is awesome. So just go to the description of this video. You'll see the offers there. Click the links and follow through the instructions, and you will enjoy the benefits. It's a bumper discounts that I'm doing on all my products, all my services, everything. Anchoring of events, public speaking coaching, building confidence coaching, all my materials on seller. It's going for the whooping amazing discount that I've never done before. I looked at the discount. My team asked me, are you sure you want to do this? I said, well, it's my birth month, man. It's the month of May, between the 1st and the 6th of May. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it. And they're like, well, you're the boss, but we would advise against it. I said, don't worry, I'm doing it. So check the description of this video. You just see the link there. You see the details of everything, and enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I might extend it for the rest of the month of May, but just catching on it now because I'm not too sure my team will even agree to that. We had a long debate on this. So, okay guys, let me not take much of your time again. You've watched the call of the video. Enjoy it. It is your coach, Emmanuel Dogba. Ciao, ciao.